Mike, you've covered a lot of Game 7s. You know as well as anyone that the superstar players typically show up in those games, but sometimes you need another player to ball out. With that said, what do you make of the performance by Tristan Thompson as well as T. Lue's decision to start him in this game?
Well, the performance was really, really strong, obviously. 7 rebounds in the very first quarter, 15 and 10 overall for a guy who simply hadn't played in most of the series. Very limited minutes. But the decision that Tyronn Lue made to start him startled the Pacers a little bit. I mean, Pacers players were saying afterward, no, they were not expecting Tristan Thompson to be out there. And obviously, this is a guy who's won an NBA championship with this team. He brings a certain energy. He brings a certain veteran presence, maybe a young veteran, but still, absolutely LeBron James wanted the guys out there that he won a championship with a couple of seasons ago, and Tristan Thompson was one of them. So it wasn't a real stretch. They thought that he, just by observation, he really maintained himself. It worked out. Had been ready to play. So they didn't think they were risking anything there, and putting Thompson into the lineup really got the Cavaliers off to a terrific start, a 12-point lead in that first quarter.
You know, Mike, sometimes we in the media get a little criticism because we talk about LeBron too much, but he is the face of the league, and it sort of comes with the territory. What do you think it says about his legacy, though, Mike, that he is now a perfect 13-0 in first-round playoff series?
Well, I think it says more the way he's gotten through those series and the variety and the degree of sort of talent of the teammates in those first-round series. I mean, this was one of those series where the Indiana Pacers, I think if you ask most basketball observers, and now I'm talking coaches and players, if you ask them, really tell the truth, the Pacers are probably seen to be a better team than the Cavaliers right now, but they've got LeBron James. And so for LeBron to go out and have a 46-point game, a 44-point game with one of his greatest game-ending shots ever, come back with a 45-point Game 7, putting him in really rarefied air to score and play that way. He went the whole quarter before missing a shot. I mean, he knew when he talked about Game 7s, and he has a great appreciation as a historian, having been in the league 15 years now, about Game 7s and what they mean. He talked about how exhausted he was, and that's not something you hear LeBron often talk about. But I think the legacy, when you look back at this years from now, you're going to look at LeBron James and the way he played Game 7s, with whom he played Game 7s, against whom he played Game 7s. If the Pacers go on and become a team that can advance through the playoffs, you'll look at this as the start of their ascension, and LeBron was still, with a new cast, an unproven cast, able to put them down in a first-round series. And it just seemed like something that was a twinkle in his eye, if I may presume a little bit, at getting through a 7-game series. I think the greatest of the greats all appreciate that as much as anything other than winning a championship.
He started 0-2 in his career in Game 7s, but now he's won 5 in a row, moves on to the second round to take on the Toronto Raptors, top seed in the East. Michael Wilbon there in Cleveland. He'll be with us throughout the playoffs here on SportsCenter. Thanks, Mike.